finally tabletopping the Casio G-Shock GA400 series. I say finally because I went way overboard in testing this watch. Cuckoo crazy. It went on scuba diving adventures, zodiac adventures, daily wear, rifle shoots, pistol shoots. I gave it to Tactical Doodle, he wore it. I gave it to Last Suspect, he wore it. They're kind of my little Santa helpers for watch testing, by the way. It passed with flying colors. Buy with confidence. The GA400 series is excellent. Actually, one of my favorite Dig watches that Casio makes at the price level, which is relatively affordable. I kind of look at this one and think of it as a Blue Angels variation, the yellow and blue. It's the GA400 9 Bravo. Very cool looking, and it has the positive LCD display, which is easier to read. It is module, by the way, 5398. So if there's any functions I don't cover, you can look up module 5398 PDF and you'll see everything you need to know about it. If you don't like this coloration, there are a lot more. It's kind of an artistic statement for Casio as a company. So it seems like the black colorations predominate in the line of the GA400, but I've seen gold, silver, rose, some very wild colorations like a Lego variation of the Casio GA400. That would be a statement. You wear that Lego looking watch around and a lot of guys are going to like it. They'll comment on it and go, that is funky. Girls will especially like it. Speaking from experience, Tactical Doodle, what he tells me, when he wears a loud watch, he said girls come up to him, they just love it. They think it's so cool. Again, most of them are negative display models, so dig around. I'll put some links down there. I bought this one off Amazon in 2016. It's been in testing for well over a year. Crazy, I know. Insane. Cool factor, I think, is there if you like G-Shocks. I mean, if you're a more classic watch wearer, I get it. I just reviewed this watch. It is an AV8 Hawker Hurricane, and this is a classic watch. I like them both. It depends on my mood. So as a watch reviewer, I'm not just going to stick to this one. I'm not just going to stick to that one. I'm going to kind of bounce all over the place. So I just reviewed that one. Lots of other reviews I hope to post to give you more options. But the GA400, I like its styling. How about size, lug width, weight comfort, blah, 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 sweat factor, and strap retention? Well, the thing about this watch, the GA400 series, is you look at it and you go, wow, that's like a big, chunky, heavy watch. Not true. It's very light. It's only 2.4 ounces, dudes. 2.4 ounces. The strap is extremely comfortable. Lug size is not really a factor because it's a proprietary strap, and when this one blows, you're probably going to have to go get another one specifically for this watch. Kind of a downside. Not a vinyl strap, but a polymer strap. Very comfortable, very water resistant, doesn't hold water. This is an activity adventure watch, and that's exactly how we use it. The AV8 one I showed you on the table with a leather band, I'm not going to go out and scuba dive with that one. This one, I'd scuba dive, go tactical shooting. I don't care about mud, sand, nothing. It's got a recessed crystal on it. It's excellent for that. Single keeper on it. I need to put on another silicone keeper because this one keeps sliding off. Not a lot of traction. Plastic clasp. Double clasp there. Or clasp, I should say. You have some kind of an accordion section here. I guess the idea is that the band would stretch a little bit over a wetsuit. I didn't really test that, but it seemed like it sized perfectly to wear with the wetsuit I had for the day. Hopefully I can find that footage for you, scuba diving, and I'll show it to you. The GA400. I would say comfort and bang factor are actually relatively low because it's so lightweight. It is kind of thick. I mean, where's my ruler right here? We'll measure it here on camera just for the heck of it. I always talk in millimeters, and I always go by the widest part. So right here, I'm ballparking it at about 50 millimeters across. That's from the rotary dial. And right here, we're looking at a very high 17 millimeters. So yeah, it's something. But it just wears better. Maybe it's just, again, because it's so light. Let's go into its feature set and legibility and daylight savings time management. Other things. Super quick if I can. Okay, it's an Dig presentation, and I really, really like those. I've covered a couple of them before. This is a competitive option. This is a Gravity Master GA1100. And it's only going to be a little bit more money. It's a negative display, a little bit harder to read, maybe cooler in a lot of people's estimation. This is the black and orange one. Which one do you like best between these two? Well, I'm not going to lie. I like the Gravity Master. It's sick. It's just very cool. And we're talking second cool and just looks, right? But for legibility and first cool presentation, this one wins. I mean, look at the LCD display, dudes. I mean, for crying out loud, you have everything you need right there. And I'm seeing so many modules, it's hard to remember what switches what. But you got date, time, and you have the date, 9/22 Friday. That's when I'm filming this, of course. All the information there is in positive LCD, plus a readout with the hands. So that's cool. The one thing you're not going to get with the GA400, at least in this variation, is illumination on the hands. You won't have that. You'll have backlight illumination, and we'll look at that right now, I guess. And it's okay. It's not awesome, but it's something. It is user selectable between 1 and 3 seconds. So it's gold in color. You can see what it shows. You can see the bottom time display pretty readily on the GA400. So it's there, but you're not going to get illumination on the hand, so don't expect it. Get something else. You know, that Gravity Master has that. Now also, along with that, I'm talking the display, look at how three-dimensional it is. So you got kind of chiseled markers there on the GA400. Let me get some more light in here. Maybe that'll help just a little bit. Silver in color on this coloration. Then you have like an indicator dial here that has various uses. You can dig in the manual to see that. I'm not covering it here. Excellent. So we're in the time function. I'm not going to dig into setting because it just is more time, and I'm just trying to speed through some of these with the interest level of my own audience. That's what I'm doing these days. There's a timer function accessed by this button. It's dedicated, so you can set that with a rotary dial, and you can see it's running right now. So that's a different variation on this module, 5398, is that everything's going to be set by the rotary dial. So you don't have buttons that you'll be pushing usually. Let me go back to mode. There's your time once again, day, date. I did want to show you one thing though. If we go to set, I'm going to show you this. Just cycle through it. So you have your times that you can set, and you'll see your hands stowing. They'll stow right there at about 8:30. You can see the time switching down here, and I'm doing it with a rotary dial. That's what I wanted to show you, one of the things. Daylight savings time is off right now, and if I spin the dial, it should turn on. All the changes are made via dial. A 12-hour format. Let me get it close to the camera, sorry. There's seconds. Year, date. Muting on the buttons. I usually keep those muted. And there's a light thing. That's what I wanted to show you as well. And you go back to time. What you're not going to get on this GA400 module is ABC functions. So get into a different watch. The Gravity Master has some of that. In other words, if you need a compass barometer, which I don't think anyone uses, but if you needed it, go to a different module, different watch. There's lots of them. Mode selection, we talked about time. There's your stopwatch function. It can also be set to count down seconds with a rotary selector with an auto start function, if you care. World time is fabulous in this module. It really is, because if you travel a lot and you go to different time zones and you don't want to screw up your home time, not that there is a home time in this module, you just rotate your rotary dial right here and you just change your time. And by the way, that is shown in the LCD display. I don't know if I showed you that. And there's your alarm for sure. I only use one. How many do you guys use? Snooze, signal function, and that's it. That's your features of the GA400. So it's a simple timekeeping piece. In other words, what most people use. There is a hand stow feature. If you press the lower left and the upper right, it should stow your hands. So if you want to see your screen better, there you go. And it has a home time return feature to it. I call it a flow through feature. So if you're at a different screen, let's say I'm in stopwatch function and suddenly I want to go back to home time, I don't have to keep pressing this lower left. I just, on the GA400, press and hold on the lower left, and it should shortcut me back to, well, the home time screen is what I should say. By the way, look at the buttons. That's one reason I'm wearing gloves here, because to show you that you can press the buttons and even work the rotary dial, which is shielded and protected and double O-ring sealed on the GA400. So it's dust and waterproof. down to 200 meters, by the way. Tested, incidentally, in TMP. I don't know all the way down to 200, but I think we got it down to 100 feet at least on a line out on the Zodiac, just for kicks. We were like towing it behind the boat, seeing how it would do, then we let it sink, and we were about 100 foot of salt water come up. Yeah, it's fine. Dove great. Magnetic resistant, by the way, and it carries two SR927W batteries with a screw-in case back. No stabilizers on the back, as you can see, like we saw in, well, this one, the G7900, or GD350, sorry. These are stabilizers right here. So the GA400 doesn't have that. Didn't notice it, not a big deal. Durability, I think, is going to be excellent because it's G-Shocky in that their crystal is protected, and I don't even have a crystal protector on this watch because of it. And we talked about the screw-through bars, which are going to provide more strength. And by the way, it's also wash cycle proof. Yeah, I forgot about it. It went through an entire wash cycle and did great. Maybe I should do that from now on, dude. It's a wash cycle proof? Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. One thing I didn't do, by the way, is test the alarm sound. Let me do that for you real quick. So in the alarm, I think it's the middle left button. Here it is. And that's how you're going to turn your alarm on and off on that, in the alarm function, so this middle left button. So it'll take you a little bit to get used to it, but once you got it, you got it. It is an excellent watch. I think its high points are its cost, by the way, which when we scored this was just $100 in Amazon. You'll see the screenshot when we bought it. It's gone up a little bit, and it's probably, this coloration, going to go away soon. I forget what year they came out with this really cool Blue Angels coloration, but others will be available. But the value is up there. I think it's a reasonable cost for a genuine Casio G-Shock, especially the legibility, the positive LCD screen in this, the fabulous world time feature on that. I showed you how it's dual fluidable, and its simplicity and wearability. Love the GA400. It is a Hall of Famer going into the playlist here in TMP. Buy with confidence. We'll see you later.